Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here. The Harper Collins Study Bible. This kind of was what came after the Harper Study Bible that sold so many hundreds of thousands of copies for about 20 years, done by Harold Linsdale. So I picked this up. You know, you can get these, I don't know, somewhere either side of $5 on eBay. And sometimes I just like to look at liberal study Bibles to see what liberals are doing. Now, this one came beat up. I would call this acceptable. I think they called it good on eBay. You always want to read their descriptions. Don't just read what you see first. Acceptable, good, very good. It's been my experience when something's listed as very good, it's outstanding. And there's a lot of people like Better World Books, Goodwill Industries selling this kind of stuff. Let's see when this came out. Harper Collins Study Bible, NRSV. Okay, the NRSV is 1989. I'm trying to see. This came out in 1993. So let's take a look here. It does have the apocryphal and deuterocanonical books, which is fascinating. I just ran across a thing showing why the King James translators, written to my knowledge, I'm trying to still study this, by the King James translators of why they rejected the apocrypha, why they included it in the Bible, but kind of segregated it in a place by itself, put it in a place by itself. So here is who did this. And it's not a lot in the editorial board, just a few in the editorial board. So I get this in hardback, you know, for a few dollars. We'll be able to see, you know, sometimes they'll have different facts that I'm not acquainted with just because they're reading different literature than me. They're reading very liberal literature usually. And then other times, at least I see where liberals are coming from. Now here's a list of all of the contributors. You can see most all the contributors have PhD by their name. I've got a THD, a Doctor of Theology, I've got PhD. Many people say PhD stands for piled high and deep, which means they're obfuscating the truth sometimes. And there is some truth to that. The college world is no longer about the discovery of truth so often. It's for the suppression of certain viewpoints, promotion of other ideologies, and not necessarily truth. And, you know, there was that big scandal of the peer-reviewed process where these people were just making up stuff and sending it in. And they got 7 papers published in peer-reviewed journals, just writing ridiculous things about, you know, Mein Kampf, and they would replace a chapter of Mein Kampf with feminist ideology and all this. And the Wall Street Journal finally caught them. So one book or many, the critical study of the Old Testament. This all began, of course, with Richard Simon back in 1671. He's considered to be the father of textual criticism. And then, of course, critical study, critical theory by the cultural Marxist, the Frankfurt School, Horkheimer, Marcuse, and others. So let's just see really how liberal it is. You know, I've done reviews on the Oxford Annotated, NRSV, and this is NRSV, by the way, and the RSV, the New Oxford Annotated, and the Annotated. So that's good. It's got color maps, 18 color maps. That's good. And like, this is a helpful thing here. This is the order of books in several traditions. Like, so this is in the Jewish Bible, this is the order of the books that you're going to have. So that's pretty fascinating. Jewish Bibles, Catholic Bibles, Orthodox Bibles. So that's good stuff to know. I was just reading a book by David W. Daniels, and he's got several of these. I wonder if he got this list from out of here. Got the list from off of this. I just don't know. But, you know, that's pretty fascinating. been doing a lot of Bible reviews lately. I'm just trying to clean off the table, but this was all stuff that was behind me. It was primarily Bibles, Protestant Bibles. Okay, so here we come to the chronologies, and of course it's going to start in 2000 because it's going to say other things are very problematic before the year 2000 BC. So that's kind of interesting there. It's fascinating. A lot of times Bible reviews do really well on our channel, but not all Bible reviews. The Hebrew Scriptures, the New Life channel's got a lot of stuff, a lot of teachings you need to watch on there if you can. It'd be good. The Symmetry of the Garden Story, Symmetry of the Garden Story. So the introductions are just kind of here. Sources, it's got the documentary hypothesis, which is very skillfully disproved by Bill Cooper from the creation science movement in the UK in his book on Genesis. Extraordinarily skillfully refuted with facts. So that's done by Joel Rosenberg. So here's what it's going to look like. Just when you open it up, this is what a page is going to look like. You'll see a lot of commentary. And so you had the Harper Study Bible, which was considered liberal in its time. It's considered mainstream to conservative evangelical now. And, you know, this kind of took its next, a little leaven leavens the whole lump. Let's just say that. Let's see what it says about Deuteronomy 22:5. This is just for my curiosity's sake. Deuteronomy 22:5. Classification of cross-dressing as abhorrent to the Lord. See note on 7:25, 26, 23, suggests that the prohibition has in view pagan cultic practices associated with the worship of the Mesopotamian goddess Ishtar. See, that's loaded language. Me as a conservative, I could use that, but also others could use it as well to say, well, it doesn't apply to today. It just had to do with cultic practices, and since I cross-dress non-cultic practices, it's fine. So, let's see. So this would dispute Daniel's authorship. So it was written in the time of Antiochus Epiphanes. So that's not good. I would go to Joel. I just really don't have time to go to Joel. See what it said about Pentecost and all of that. So we've got the Apocrypha here. The hidden. It's hidden for a reason. A lot of lies in the Apocrypha. Basically pushes certain doctrines. It was not till the Council of Trent, which was really several councils over the course of, 17 councils over the course of 21 years or something like that. Several councils where this was enshrined that it had to be in Bibles. Now, a lot of there's parallel passages, that's good. A lot of Bible societies now are printing Bibles with the Apocrypha, which is fascinating. Here's what Matthew's going to look like. Let me just see something real quick here. It's got Q source. Mark written in the late 60s, yeah. Which I've done videos disproving the Kel or the Q source. It's kind of like the documentary hypothesis for the New Testament. So it seems to me this is kind of written in a direct competition with the New Oxford Annotated done by Bruce Metzger, the Collard professor at Princeton. Okay, so, but now, again, it's going to have some neat stuff in here. Alternate ways of counting the Roman emperors signified in Revelation 17, 10, and 11. See, now that is quality stuff. You don't find that in many study Bibles at all. So that's what I'm saying is even, I found that out with the Oxford Annotated, the New Oxford Annotated, that even in the midst of like real ultra-liberal Bibles, that you can have amazing stuff. And so like quotations of the Jewish scriptures in the New Testament, like this is a fantastic resource as well. You don't find that everywhere in every study Bible. So it's got some things to commend it. If you were to go to like Union Theological Seminary or Interdenominational Seminary or Christian Theological in Indianapolis, Emory University, Candler School of Theology, this is the type Bible that you would use at those type places, which is why I could never get myself to go to a place like that. I tried. I wanted to. And I'm like, I only get one life to live for Jesus, and I can't just live for, learn error all day. It's just bad. I was going to Luther Rice, and I felt like they were making me compromise on the textbook and quit going to Luther Rice. So I had to go to this KJV Bible School, Andersonville Theological Seminary. So now that's a great map too, talking about useful stuff even amongst conservatives. Archaeological sites in the Holy Land. Good stuff right there. So the HarperCollins Study Bible, NRSV, again, even in apostolic circles, a lot of people going to the NRSV, apostolic circles, because they're going to secular seminaries, a lot of people are buying into what is in this book in a negative sense. Man, buy the truth, sell it not, fall in love with Jesus. If you'll fall in love with Jesus, you'll fall in love with His Word. God bless. I love you in Jesus' name.